that had all those little sort of moments of things. When I found this script, I was like, I had that moment in Clueless when she's at the fountain. She's like, wait, I love Josh! I was like, why am I fighting so passionately for this film? Why am I taking it all so personally? And I realized that for me it was really personal, and it was a perfect sort of structure and building block for me to put a bunch of stuff into that it was important to me. So, I hope that answers your question.
All right. We have a question here, sir. We'll use the mic, and hopefully we don't have to shout the whole time.
Hi. I really liked your film a lot. I want to thank you for putting Daniel Stern in a movie again. He is fabulous. There's so many things to ask, but I guess I wanted to know, like, were you going to do this film and then you decided that because you were so passionate about it that you wanted to give a hand at directing, or were you looking for a project to work on?
I always knew that I wanted to direct. I would hand like Steven Spielberg scripts when I was 6 years old. And weirdly, one of them was called Kim, and it was about a mother-daughter relationship. So I hooked into that because that's just a very, I don't care if you've never met your mother, it's still the most unique relationship you're going to have. The mother-daughter dichotomy is endlessly interesting and painful and beautiful and worthwhile to hopefully figure out and have some honesty and family acceptance. And there were just a lot of things in this movie that I really cared about. And I grew up watching these movies like John Hughes or a film called Breaking Away. These really, yeah. And I was like, thank you for not talking down to me. Thank you for making me feel like my problems are as important as adults, or they seem and feel as big. Thank you for giving me some comedy along the way. They had these great timeless tones, and they treated kids respectfully, and it was great, and I really loved that. And so we were just producing this, my partner Nan and I, and we were talking with filmmakers, and they sort of, you know, just, I don't know, doing these tones or going in these directions. Specifically, something like, I remember this one filmmaker wanted to really get into the bitterness of pageants, and I just thought, oh God, I've seen that a million times. It's not that that world is wrong, it's just not right for her. Just some of the tones that were starting to get very modern and poppy, and you know, they wanted to give a girl an eating disorder, and I was like, oh God, like, I mean, I like a good fart joke better than that. And I felt differently when you write with writers as a producer. You usually have a meeting with them, you do story notes, and then they go off by themselves and they write, and you come back and you keep working on the evolutionary process like that. And just after meeting people, I don't know why, I got this animalistic sort of feeling, and I was like, no, and it could have this, or it could be like Slapshot, or the Bad News Bears, or like, this is about a mother and a daughter. This is painful and real for this girl. These are people who, like in Breaking Away, are sitting on that rock, and they see their dreams, and they're out there, and don't modernize this, and don't make it, you know, tacky and bitter and cheap. And I was going bowling with my friend, and I was gripping my ball with fierceness, and I was like, I love Josh. I have to direct this movie. And I had to go for my first pitch to a studio head to say I want to direct this movie, and they said yes, shockingly. And I started right then 3 years ago, putting everything I had into this amazing love affair that I got to have with this film. Thanks.
All right, let's go up top. Actually, let's go.
Which Daniel Stern is in, which is perfect.
Sure. Yeah. All right, coming up here. What is your question for Drew?
Hi. By the way, I thought your character was really badass.
Thank you. I so was into her. Smash Lee Simpson, a hippie with anger issues. I'm like, yeah. I actually am, so I get that.
I was wondering how hard it was to shoot all those derby scenes with, like, all the cameras and stuff, like how you shot them?
It was intimidating. And hello. It was intimidating, and we started with the Derby. And now, okay. One of the things that I learned in a valuable lesson as I put this microphone into my mouth is while doing the Charlie's Angels movies, which were very important endeavors. That out of a training camp comes two very important elements for a film. One, you get the people to be so good at doing what they're doing that they can go out there and peacock and like show all the skills that they've learned. And then you see actors doing it. It's not stunt people. It doesn't feel fake and fraudulent. You know, you're smart. You can smell it. You can see the cutting. You can, something feels off. But instead, these are the girls, the actresses, because we did a, darn it, month-long training camp, and I did that with the girls in Charlie's. And then also what comes with it is people hurting themselves, laughing together, rooting each other on, and this great chemistry and camaraderie also comes with it that you also can't fake with having actors walk in and shake hands and say, yeah, we're on a team, nice to meet you. So that was really important, and then I choreographed and storyboarded everything. I worked with this great storyboard artist named J. Todd Anderson. He does all the Coen Brothers movies. He's brilliant, he's a cinema buff, and we would just go and sit and work every day for 2 hours and storyboard and shot list. And then I choreographed with a woman. Derby's so interesting. These women have such dual lives. She was by day an NPR correspondent.
Oh my God.
Alex Cohen, but her Derby name is Axles of Evil. So we would start to choreograph everything with script. We knew we had a story to tell. We tried to design the choreography to tell that story. And then when you start to put that into a camera and try to tell that logically, when it's all over the place, like I said, we had ATVs, techno cranes. We had a guy with a doggy cam who was skating with the girls. You know, we just had thousands and thousands and thousands of feet of footage. And then you get in the editing room and you start sifting through the masses. But I just tried to be as buttoned up as possible going into it. But that Derby is one scary sport.